Hi friends, Biting Cat here, and welcome to episode 23 of Let's Elden Ring, a comfortable playthrough for beginners based around a sorcery or intelligence type build. Now, last episode we defeated the fire giant, who is kind of a notorious skill check. I think a lot of people give up on the fire giant, which is a shame because I think usually people aren't necessarily struggling with difficulty. They think they are. They're really struggling with their build. A lot of Elden Ring systems are complicated, and I think it's easier to make a character that can't succeed than it is to make one that can. Let me check my physic real quick. I think we tweaked it for the giant. Yeah, we want to go back to the twig. Let's look at our character, as we always do at the start of these things. So we're hanging tight at 45, 25, and 22, and focusing on intelligence. When we get to 70, we'll probably look at vigor once again. Long term, I don't think we're going to have the levels for it in this playthrough, but I would love to see endurance at 25 at least. I would love to see mind at 30. Of course, I would love to see vigor at 60. That's definitely not happening. And intelligence, I would love to get to a natural 80, so that we can stop relying on runes or talismans to max our damage stat. So we're gonna, there's an opportunity cost with using a talisman for intelligence. So I'd like to I've been equipping one of those for the past, like, I don't know, 60 levels or something. And I'd like to free up that slot. We'll see if we can do it. Anyway, I promised that we would fight a big dragon this time, and we will. It's a lightning dragon, and we haven't done a lot of lightning fighting here in this playthrough, really, but they're vulnerable at the head, which is hard to do with melee. Not that people don't do it. People do jump attacks at dragon heads all the time. Fighting Cowboy is probably the most popular soul streamer. That's kind of his MO. He does jump attacks at dragon heads. Either I lack the skill or the patience to do that, so I don't. I like hitting the knuckles, until they stagger. I do charge attacks on the feet until I get a stagger. That's kind of my thing. Now with the sorcery, of course, you can hit the head. They tend to move around a lot, but to me it's easier than doing it with melee. These ancient dragons are a little different. I don't think we can lock on the foot. Maybe we can. I usually don't. I tend to just kind of sort of free float. Anyway, let's see what happens. We're gonna drink this flask, and if we die, it won't matter. You'll note it does its stuff on the ground. Which you don't want to be standing on. So, keep your eye on the ground. I accidentally locked onto him, which got me turned around there. As you can see, I've been doing a lot of, the charge attacks are ultimately risky um, because they move. It's weird that my partner died. It doesn't usually happen. I don't know where it is. There it is. So, and some bad camera management stuff there. We'll try that again. Again, if you don't like the way this is going, get out your staff, give that a try. There's not necessarily a right way. And I mean, by now, if you're following this guide, you've played a lot of this game. You've got a good feel for what you do and don't want to do. That's that wing stuff. And I haven't staggered him yet. Ugh. Ouch. I think that did it. Yeah. So the good news is, if this isn't working out for you, you don't have to fight him at all. Like, you do not have to fight him. You can just run on down here. You can ignore this loot. I mean, none of it's incredible. You don't have to have it. The only big deal is the ancient dragon smithing stone, and we've already got some of those. You can just run down here, and then there's a site of grace. If you want to do something a little dastardly, you can come down here, activate the grace, craft up some rot arrows, try to set rot on them. He'll throw lightning way down here. You've got to come all the way back here and wait out the lightning. But, I mean, you can put rot on them if you're patient. Point is, you've got options, including just not bothering at all if it just seems like too much of a hassle. If you've been playing along, you already had 2 of these. We picked those up last episode. Now this room is kind of the sort of annoying thing that happens here. Like, there's a one hidden, and if you wait, yeah, see. chances are your first chance to guard counter is not a good one. So don't take it, you know. Hold off on that. There's nothing really incredible out there, but we'll go there eventually. But for now, let's deal with this stuff. This is another kind of an oppressive environment. Like, everything here is super dangerous. So you basically need to be ready. You need to not let anything get close to you. There's going to be another... Some of these do lightning, like the dragon. So obviously you don't want that. So you shut him down. There's another one standing there. We're just kind of doing a lap here, as you can see. We give him a nice frosty backstab. You can backstab these guys. Okay, moving right along. There's loot here at the edge. It's hard to see. There it is. Golden Rune 12. Now down here, there's like 5 guys. Like, you can see that one. But he's not really the big problem. There's a guy that's going to come out in the middle, and he does that lightning stuff. And he's the dangerous one. Unfortunately, the lightning stuff's pretty easy to avoid. I don't want to jinx anything, but you know, it lights up the floor. So with that out of the way, we can think about dealing with the other enemies in here. This is yet another case where we're taking our time, but we're hopefully never going to do this again. There's the other one. You can see him. Stay back here. We don't want to get close to his friends. We want him to come to us. I like that fancy footwork. You know, good luck shield blocking all of that. Alright. That might be it. Just take your time. Okay. Alright. So we got that room cleared out. When we're ready to proceed with the actual area, this is where we'll go. So we've unlocked a path forward. We're unfortunately like 15,000 runes shy of leveling up, and I think what we'll do is we'll use the twig. So we'll tough that out. Let's go back out and try that rooftop we were talking about. You probably can't hear it because I have the mix turned down, but you can hear on the headphones a bunch of those worm guys that do the death. So that's a thing we're going to be looking at. There's a bunch of guys in here. I mean, it might be like 5. We can be very extravagant with our flask here. We do not need to conserve magic at all. Now fortunately, getting up here makes this guy start moving. So we're gonna take him out before he gets here. You know the deal. That little shit. They're not usually Alright. How many more do we see? Looks like 3 to me. What I'd like to do is slowly aggro them one at a time if we can. The one in the middle I'm almost certain is one of those lightning dudes. Nice. We'll do the same here. And he's running. Another reason to be careful is all these gaps in the floor, which we definitely don't want to fall in. So that was obviously bait. We should be able to get a backstab on this guy. And you can decide if this is worth it or not. Great Grave Glovewort. It may be the first one we found. You know, those haven't been an emphasis for me, as we've discussed. But you might want to take some to +10. And there you go. Alright, so that's complete. We're going to go right back out the way we came. Because of the flask, it'll be annoying if we die, but it won't be... we won't really lose things. It'll be annoying because... everybody's going to respawn, and we'll have to make our way here again. Maybe you can hear those worm guys now. They're everywhere. There's so many of them down here. So since we're not fighting any, we're going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to put this on, which we haven't used, which eliminates all sounds made during movement. And even though we're eliminating sounds, I'm staying crouched. And we're going to stay left. There's actually a bottomless ravine down here that if you're down there and running, there's one there, but if we stay over here, he shouldn't notice, and we don't get tempted to grab that thing. Yeah. Good. So we're just gonna keep moving here, guys, you know. Good. Now, if you've ever wanted to fight a big worm guy with some little worm guys and even more worm guys within shouting distance, well, this is your chance. Just stay low, keep moving. And there's our last grave glovewort ball bearing. And we're done with this little area. We can keep going. There's a choice to be made here. You can fight these guys. You can platform onto little rocks. Um, you can do whatever you want. Um, we could get out our sacred sword and kill these skeletons for sure. Um, but I think what I want to do, I'm just going to pop the flask and run for it. None of these are worth a ton of XP, you know, so why bother? The main thing is that we do this before our flask runs out. There's a couple of big guys here that we don't want to deal with. But they won't come down here. And then that's that. Meanwhile, yeah, if you can believe it, there are some other things I want to do. So let's take a little breather here. While this isn't a completionist walkthrough, I do want to go to every region of the game and kill that region's boss, especially if it's related to one of the demigods. And there is a region we haven't yet visited. And to get there, we're going to need to go back to Shiofra. I said a long time ago, oh, we'll check this out. And we've never gone back. So it's time to go back. And, you know, as these things go, it shouldn't really take super long. We can definitely we should be able to use a rune for this. That should speed things up, hopefully. I still love these areas. That's Mogwin. Remember that? Yeah, that's over there. I've said it before, but I just love how you can see how this world is a coherent whole. You know, it's so awesome. I'm disappointed I didn't one-shot that guy. This should be familiar. We're gonna light all these. There's 6 of them. Alright. Definitely need charge shots for these guys, so we're not wasting magic. Alright. If you see Trina's lilies, you know, you still want them. They're still very valuable. Mainly because we've got still at least one big Godskin fight. Okay. That's 2. We're initially looking for 4. There are 2 in a little side area. Say, where's the guy with the bow? I know he's here. She always drops that headband, I think. Alright, that's 3. Do I still have Radagon equipped? I do. Oh, there you are, rascal. I don't have my XP Scarab equipped. That's a mistake. Should be another one over here. Yep. And if you're following along, you're over leveled for this. So I'm not spending a lot of time talking about strategy. Okay, that's the 4th one. Now we can go get the other 2. Nice, another lily. Don't know how I missed him. That's fine. Okay. We're going to kind of hug the right side over here. There's one of those, remember that red wolf boss from the academy? There's one just kind of randomly walking around here. And he's only worth like 2,000 runes, if you can believe that. And he's a pain in the ass. He's not worth the trouble. So, yeah, let's do one of these. Man, I love that. I wish you had more chances to do that, because it's so cool. Alright. So here's this one. And there's only one more. And it eventually walks around that dead tree up there. Oh no, it doesn't. I think it walks around the big tree I was standing by. Yeah. Okay, I see him. And just as a bit of due diligence, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but there is a platforming opportunity here. If you've been craving more instant death platform opportunities in Elden Ring, you can get your fix here. There's a pretty underwhelming, I think, magic item that you can get. I'm not doing that. I don't care about that. I'm not doing it. Should be able to level up. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then we can go fight the big moose thing. Oh, this isn't where I meant to go, but it works. Still pushing on intelligence. Good. Is this it? I don't want to go back to the Mimic tier. Yeah, this is it. Alright. We're not going to bother fighting anything. We're just going to go straight there. This boss, we fought one like it before. This one has a gimmick where it can heal itself, which isn't, that's not a huge problem for us at this late date. I mean, we're overpowered for him, really. I mean, I think he's kind of resistant to magic, but I mean, maybe we should try the sword. I don't know. I'll try the sword. Why not? I think the real issue is the sword's fine, but locking on isn't. Because he's tall. Let's find out. We can drink the physic. I'm not going to use the shield. Does that big drop. He'll kick you, which is he'll do this disappearing, reappearing thing from far away. That'll do it. Not a lot to get in terms of runes for that. But you do get a remembrance. Then we can leave, but we're not done yet. With that out of the way, we can head to the next area. Look at this. Who'd have thunk it? Always check out the jellyfish. They seem to know what's up, So now we're in this kind of secret looking area. Activate the grace. There's a couple of dragon crucible knights, but fortunately, see, you can see him walking around down there. At this stage in our career, and the way these are stat-wise, it's not going to be the huge problem that many of them are. Like, there's one Crumbling Farum Azula I've never beaten. I mean, guys, I've gotten the platinum in this game, and I have never defeated that enemy. And really don't feel motivated to try. To me, those enemies are kind of like, oh, I thought I had my flask, I need a rest. They remind me of enemies from like some of the earlier Dark Souls DLC, where you just have these enemies that have seemingly infinite poise. They just never They never stagger, and they never flinch. You can't interrupt their attacks. They do these long, drawn out combos. I mean, it's supposed to be, I think, like, would you like to play one of these games? Only it's like a fighting game. Only it's Street Fighter 6. And like, no, I don't actually want to play this like Street Fighter 6. Good if you do. And another thing that's obnoxious about them is it'd be bad enough if they mix up their stuff too much. Honestly, if you just had to parry them, but they do this thing where they stomp the ground, you have to jump. I just, whatever, man. It's not my thing. Maybe this is like, if you're an experienced player hearing this, you're like, oh, get good, dude. It's like, well, no, I don't want to get good at that. I don't have time to get good at that. The reason for this wait is, while our magic is going to be effective against him, I don't want to be standing right next to him when I start casting spells. Like, this is probably good. And we're just going to unload, and hopefully he'll put his shield down. Yeah. And that's that. You do get the Crucible Horn Shield. There's another one. This one doesn't have a shield, so it's much easier. We're going to hit this with a charged, and then we're just going to go, and they're going to briefly be out of sight while they walk to the stairs, and that's when we'll drink our flask, so we're ready to resume. But you can see that's all right. For that, you get a somber 6, which explains why those are so easy, right? I mean, somber 6 just isn't. That's not big time stuff for us right now. And don't worry, when we get to the next area, I'm not going to linger and do everything that's there. We're gonna beeline for the good stuff and get out. There's a lot of these little ghost flame guys in here. Not hard to kill, but you definitely don't want several on your case at once, so be methodical. Anything else? All right. I'm really just getting this out of habit. This has nothing to do with our magic build. Let me like this guy's message. Thanks, buddy. There are a bunch of these guys in here, like so many. Hopefully that's all of them. I'm just gonna run in with my shield up just in case. There's like a couple in here. Oh, hey, buddy. Rune Arc, those are always welcome. You got a decision to make here. This guy is Dee's brother. And if you give him the twinned armor that, you know, Dee left behind when Fia killed him, you can get it back later. And I guess that's the most tragic thing. So yeah, we'll give it to him. You get this. So he's just a mess. Up here's a boss, and you notice I don't have a flask. I didn't go back and rest, which I may regret, you know. Do it make sense for you. These aren't very tough. It's basically 2 gargoyles, and you're kind of in a race, like when it first starts. Like, another one's gonna show up soon. There it is. But we got him okay. Hey, buddy. And you get more gargoyle weapons. We have quite a set. We really should kill that other gargoyle over in Caelid. He drops a weapon too. Then we can just have like every gargoyle weapon you can imagine. Meanwhile, let's rest and yes, get our flask back. See this big waterfall, get a load of this. What's this say? Coffin, oh coffin. You know, that's a good message. See what this one says. Coffin ahead in short hidden path. That is also good, because that's right. In this game, you climb in not 1 but 2 coffins to deal with waterfalls. This one we're going up. Okay. As the sign says, we're in the Deeproot Depths. It's a curious place. It's about death. This area is associated with Godwyn, the demigod that was killed um, when Ranni was killed. Although Ranni actually killed herself, and Godwyn was murdered by the Black Knives. So, um, now he's considered the Lord of Death, and there are a lot of basilisks here. Those monsters that do the instant death stuff. Um, we're gonna just we're gonna belt our rune thing because we want to kill this guy, and um, I meant to. Whoops. Oh man, I'm doing a bad job. Ow. Well, that's fine. We got him. You got the staff of the Avatar, which we'll never use, but we got it. Who knows? I mean, maybe if you're following along, you're going to get to the end of this and you're going to respec everything and just use a bunch of different weapons. I mean, you can if you want. Can I level up? No, that wasn't worth nearly enough. Okay, so the mantra for this area is that we are over leveled, and a lot of the loot that you see is just not going to be high value for us. So I am really not going to bother with a lot of things. Like, there's something up there, I'm not going there. I don't like platforming in these games anyway. I definitely don't like doing a lot of platforming to get like smithing stone 3s. That's just not that's not who I am. Y'all been watching. If you've been watching this thing, you've seen me play for 40 hours. I'm not going to do that. That's just no thank you. So we're going to do what we got to do and get through this. This cave is worth doing for a couple of reasons. One, we can get a few Newman runes, which are valuable still, and we get a few rune arcs, which are also valuable. You can't really shoot the ants on the ground or on the ceiling. You can lock on them, but it never seems to work. So if you see ants on the ceiling, just kind of be aware that they'll be coming eventually. There's not a lot of danger here, If we shoot some of these big ones, the ant should fall down. Some of them can spit at you and will, so be aware of that. So that might be it. Well, no, there's still more falling. And, if you're bored, jump down there. These guys aren't super dangerous. Look at that scamp. I had a feeling there was one down there. Alright, is that everything? Somber 6. I think we can buy those now. Alright. This is a legendary incantation, so if you're a trophy hunter, you need to get that. Alright, good. And again, we can go back, we can go to the ends of all these branches, you know, to do whatever feels right to you. Follow your bliss, okay? But we're not going to do that. I could summon my buddy and, you know, fight a bunch of ants in the air. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm just going to keep right on trucking. There's the Grace. Am I carrying? No, I'm not. Okay. It is time to get out the Beast Torch, believe it or not. And I don't want to carry that. I want to carry this. Oh, we can level up too because of all the basilisks. You know, do we really want to fight a bunch of basilisks? No.
Oh, Lord Godwin. Such cruelty. Such humiliation. Oh, my poor, sweet lordling should have died a true death. As the first of the demigods to die. As a martyr to destined death. But why must it yet bring such disgrace? A scion of the golden bough, sentenced to live in death. How could such a thing come to be?
Wow. So that's a different kind of speech. Since thanks to our Elden rune, I can carry this torch and just switch my shield back and forth. Now, chances are one of these basilisks might become hostile anyway, but it won't be all of them. And man, there are a lot of them. But let's try. Don't have anything to lose here. In this wild. Yeah. Doesn't seem like any of them are chasing me. You don't have to have it out. If it's on your back, that's good enough. Here's our map. You see where it fits in. It's kind of in the middle here. And again, we're not really exploring. We could summon our mimic tier. We could fight all of this stuff. We could hunt down every basilisk. You know, our mimic tier is immune to death buildup. You know, so you know that's cool. But to me, it's just not worth the hassle. So we're just going around this building here, and we're going to jump up on this. And, I'll show you the map once it lets me. So we were here, and we basically just rode around the back of this building, okay? And now we're here. And that's a Crucible Knight. Actually a pretty tough one. Relatively speaking. Much tougher than the ones we dealt with. I think. I'm still going to try magic on it, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm going to try not to use... yeah, actually magic is great on this thing. I'd rather save my tier because we're about to do some dangerous stuff. Now you may wonder why we did that. That enemy isn't worth a lot of runes. We're not going to use that staff. But the answer is that I think some of you might want to use this armor. You got a whole crucible set here. I'm sold on the scale mail personally, but I get why people would find it appealing. The next thing we're going to do is, which is also optional, is we're going to bring down that walking mausoleum, mainly because this is a really easy one to do in theory. First thing you want to do is put your torch back on, and you just kind of want to follow the path to it. You can see it there on the screen. There's some headless guys with great bows, so you don't want to stop. You want to keep going. And you just want to jump on this thing. And then you want to just hit the skulls, as we've done in the past. Alright, now it's falling. Great. And we're never come back here, so I would get one. Personally, I choose Radon. Who knows? Maybe we'll eventually have enough strength for his swords to make sense. They do have a bit of a intelligence scaling to them, and they look cool. So Radon is my choice. Next up, this is going to involve two fairly chaotic rides up a tree, and again, use your flask for this. This is exactly what it's for. And now, who cares what happens? Doesn't matter. Um, these fire gargoyle things are going to shoot at you. So you need to keep moving. So we're going to cheese a rune bear, and you probably, in this playthrough we haven't fought any rune bears, but if you had, you would likely have a lot of hate for them as just a really annoying enemy. So we're going to get our revenge now, which again, this isn't by accident, this is design. We're going to get our revenge by standing up here and cheesing him. Can you beat him toe to toe? Sure you can. I mean, we definitely wallop him with our sword. It's strong enough. We have certainly enough intelligence to do the damage. But, screw that bear. You know what I mean? Prince of Death Sis. This is for death build-up. Like, if we wanted to horse around some more with Basilisk and the worm face guys, we put that on. And that would buy us some more time. I mean, it certainly wouldn't hold them off indefinitely, but it would buy us some more time to fight those things. So it's kind of like the talisman we used crossing the Lake of Rot. Now I always get the directions for this wrong. Oh, don't forget to pop your flask. Maybe I want to come over here. Maybe I don't. Oh no, I definitely don't. This is where things get kind of silly. Main thing is we can do whatever we want, but we need to do it before our flask wears off. Okay, that worked. And I'm pretty sure where I went with the bear, we could have gotten away with a tricky jump over there. It probably would have wound up safer since I was kind of cavorting around with those gargoyles or whatever. But the main thing is, drink your flask. That's why none of this stuff matters. Don't feel like you're risking anything. Miss the jump. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. All right. So we are officially done with the Beast Torch. So let's go back to our blue hood, shall we? This is kind of weird. We're going to fight a bunch of quote-unquote guardians. Now look at that thing up there. We're going to get a better look at it and see all the flies around it. That's supposed to be Godwin. And what a horrific, see it's got like a fish tail and that misshapen head. Is death what did that to him? Surely he didn't look like that all along. I don't think Fia, the Deathbed Companion, would have laid in bed with that. You also see, you look at the head, that's the same head we saw under the castle. Remember that? Anyway, that is just, I mean, that's something else, isn't it? Alright, let's call our friend. This one is a different one every time, I think. I don't know how they pick these or how they get loaded. None of this stuff's really a big deal, though. I will drink the flask. I'm just kind of waiting. Yeah. There's Rogier. And I regret not really paying attention to his story more. I mean, he was under the castle, I think, for this reason, looking into this. Looking into this Godwin stuff. Fia's Mist. If you're curious about that. Is that sorcery? I guess it is. Takes 18 faith, though. Death buildup doesn't work against enemies. It only works against other players. So, stuff's kind of worthless.
Ah, there you are. I knew you would come. What is it you intend? To deny us and our ways, like the dogmatic brutes of the Golden Order?
We're gonna have to be held. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but on headphones, you can hear these flies buzzing.
You are an odd one. I am the guardian of those who live in death. They call me a foul and rotten witch. Yet you still wish to be held by me? Have you ever seen a Hallowbrand? When the first of the demigods died, his flesh was marked with the half-wheel wound of the centipede. Godwin's Hallowbrand has since been recovered at the Round Table Hall, but there is another Hallowbrand out there somewhere, and I must find it before the time comes we receive our Lord.
And of course, we have it. It's from when Ronnie died.
When Godwin died, a Hallowbrand scored his flesh, but another exists. Another mark in the shape of the half-wheel wound of the centipede, and I must find it before the time comes we receive our Lord. My hands will be dirtied once more by the deed. Will you still let me hold you, even then? This is the other Hallowbrand. How did you... Oh, my utmost thanks. With this, Godwin can take his rightful place as first of the dead, and claim a second, illustrious life. You are our true champion. And though I can't be of any use to you, can I hold you tight? If only for a moment. I will soon lay with Godwin, and it will surely stir within me the new life of the Golden Prince, and first dead of the demigods, as the rune of those who live in death. Please, do one thing for me. Brandish this child, my rune, and take for yourself the throne. Stay the persecution of those who live in death by becoming our Elden Lord. I will soon to conceive.
Okay, wow.
Stay the by becoming.
Is that wild? So, through a mysterious process, she is going to lay um, with the remains of Godwyn, which again is this kind of baffling thing, and give birth to the curse mark of death that she would like us to use in the end game. I'm pretty sure you have to rest and then talk to her again.
This is goodbye, my dear, but I am satisfied. I choose to lie with Godwyn of my own will, not the remains of one chosen for me, and I will bear a child who will inherit your warmth too. What greater blessing could there be but to be born a deathbed companion? This is goodbye, but I am sad. I choose and I will inherit. What greater...
So she knows she's going to die. That will rest again. She should be, yes, in repose. Now this fight isn't terrible. It's the Lichdragon, and we are a bit over leveled for it, which helps. It's also just kind of a dragon fight. It's a lightning dragon like the one we just fought. Its gimmick is that it'll do the area lightning it does around it has creates clouds of death around it. They'll build up death, so you've got to stay out of those. But other than that, there's nothing really new going on here. So let's give it a shot. We'll use the flask as always. He's always going to start with that death move. And we kind of stuck waiting for him to come out because we're not going to go in there. Oh boy. Off to a pretty bad start here. Let's try that again. Yuck. And there he goes. Could we have done that with magic from a distance? Maybe. Maybe so. But that works too. As always, do what feels comfortable for you. You've been at this a while if you're playing along. There's the mending rune. The Golden Order was created by confining destined death. Thus, this new order will be one of death restored. Okay. I guess for the final tragic note.
Prince of Death, take a good long look. See the wrath of the Golden Order, the Order's justice writ in blood. This is what's become of your precious witch. Naught but expired meat. The rotten witch is there. Now I can look honeyed.
So, I'm just going to kill him. I don't really like his attitude.
How could this? This diary.
If you never give him the armor, he won't show up. And so, but Fia dies anyway. It doesn't matter. The main difference is you get his sword if you do this. If you let him come over here. There's no way to save Fia. Great. So now we're at 70. What else did I want to do? Anything? Rykard. Now we have some runes we can pick up and probably should. Let's do that before I forget. The rune for Radon is shockingly wait a minute. Did I go there but not get the runes? Well, we'll see. This might I might be at the wrong one. Yeah, we've definitely done that. Let's try the Divine Bridge. That's not it. Well, I'm mixed up. I'll have to figure it out eventually. But it's not either here nor there. What was I think what bothered me there was this just doesn't seem like that's Rykard's. But what about Morgoth's? And I mean, those should be over here somewhere too, right? So that's the West Atlas one. Maybe I haven't done everything I need to do there. I'll figure it out. That can be dealt with next episode. I don't want you to watch me think about that. So, that's good. We took care of that. I think we can probably go back now. The main thing is that we don't want to finish this until we're really ready to finish it, because it's kind of a point of no return. Oh, I know the other thing we want to do, which is very tedious, but let's do it. So meanwhile, back in the capital city, early day, that's good. That guy starts shooting at you. He's got good eyes, doesn't he? I'm probably gonna just ignore all this stuff. Maybe I'll be sorry. But the truth is, these clowns just really aren't worth my time. And I might have made a mistake coming over here. We're looking for a well. There's a couple of these around, unfortunately. There it is. So there are easier ways to get to that. I should have jumped in sooner. It's unfortunately not possible to probably do this whole thing tonight, although I will try. Like Deeproot Depths, you need to know that there is a lot of crap down here, and it's also very easy to get lost. There's a lot of kind of trolling areas where there's really, compared to the amount of trouble, it's not rewarding at all. And I'm gonna try my best to ignore all of that. I only have one goal here, which is opening the path to the Frenzied Flame ending. Now, we're not going to go all the way down there, mind you. But if you're following along and you're interested in trying that, I do think it's one of the better ways to finish this game. You'll at least know where to go and how to do it, right? Let's get our lamp back on. This is a really boring area, I think. The environments are very repetitive. I mean, it's like if you're gonna make a PS360 game, you know, with current gen visuals, this would be it, you know. So that's one of the things going on here. And we're just gonna jump in this hole here. That's right. It's even got rats behind boxes. There's no reason to do that, by the way. I don't think. You don't want to fall in there, I don't think. So you see what I mean? Like, this is just crap, isn't it? Yeah, that's not the way we want to go. I was hoping the community would have more notes on the ground for us. Yeah, here we go. Alright, we've succeeded. Look at this. You know, I honestly don't know what those guys are guarding. Even though a lot of this stuff is deadly, I'm not using my physic. This is better damage than the sword stuff, by the way. Staff is the way to go. I'm just trying to take my time because I don't want to come here again, you know? not going down there. You do not need to deal with those things to finish. I don't think so, anyway. It took a long while to stagger that thing. I hope I'm right. I do not want to go through those basilisks. Oh, looks like there were 3 down here that I killed. Alright. Be wary of bug. Great. A lot of blood, that sounds nice. Nomad ashes. We won't be going down there. Or there. Does that mean we have to go the other way? I guess it does. Definitely can't go up that. Well, that stinks. I'm lost. I don't know where we are. Let's see what happens. Anyway, this is a miserable place. That didn't kill him, really? Oh boy. This is great, isn't it? The funny thing is, I think this door's locked. Yeah. Be wary of left. Always. I guess some people are coming at this from the other direction. Oh, good. Yeah, this is where I want to be. Can't remember what the Omen Baron does. Maybe it's a usable object. I don't see it in here. Alright. So we can keep moving. Alright. Hopefully that's the worst of it. These imps are everywhere. They're on the sides of the pipes. They're hanging on the walls. They're everywhere. You want to take them out before they drop on you. Because they will do things like throw fire bombs and, you know, it's just... This one's throwing knives at us. And our goal is to get to that door. It ends up being like 3 imps in a very small space. Like that's one of them. I'm pretty sure there's one down here. Yep. I think there's also one that'll come running out the door here. Yeah. So kick the ladder out. That's actually where we just were, where we got the Omen Baron. We want to jump in that hole. Dead end ahead, but an item. We're not interested in that. Hopefully this is the right way. Let's see what this says. We are eventually going to jump down a hole. There's actually one hole we do want to jump in. Ah, shit. Boy, that was bad, guys. What am I doing? Alright. This is kind of a circle. We're just looking for the right one to jump in. There we go again. So we came full circle. So unfortunately it's one of those holes, but we don't know which. Yeah, that's definitely not it. You all see what I mean? I mean, this is a terrible dungeon. It's so boring to look at. It's... Alright. I don't think it's that one, because I can hear basilisks, and that's not what this hole is about. Nice. I think that was the right one. So I'm going to leave that here. But not only am I going to do that, I'm going to drop a... I mean, I don't think we'll have to come back, but let's drop some rainbow stones. In a couple of places. Good. Okay. Well, fortunately, our journey into the sludge pit is at an end. I think I'm gonna take some precautions here. If I'm right, there's some pots down here. So we're not gonna take any chances. We're gonna get rid of that guy. We've come too far to do all this again, right? Ritual pot. I'd rather have another crack pot, to tell you the truth. Now we can take this elevator. And we could have run past all that, I guess. Good. Never again. We're going to fight kind of like a spirit of Moog. Only... Oh, I can level up. Only he doesn't have the fancy blood curse. So we don't have to worry about putting that physic together. Go back to bumping vigor. Sadly, I think 50 is probably the furthest we can go in this playthrough. I should really be thinking about endurance in mind. Look at this majestic entrance. He's pretty resilient, really. Unfortunately, I just wasn't ready to do that critical. Not that it matters. We got him. Now, the interesting thing about Moog being here let's go ahead and finish what we're doing. This is pretty much the end of the episode. We can level up again. Just going to alternate between vigor and intelligence for the next 5 or 8 levels now. Erdtree's favor, that's a nice talisman. It boosts your carry weight, not as much as the arsenal, but it also boosts your max stamina and health. So it's kind of a more general buff. It's very nice. This is a secret area, and we're not gonna do it because it's not part of the package here. But hear the sad merchant music. This is a shocking area. Look at this, all these dead merchants. This is, I mean, talk about atmosphere, y'all. This is amazing. It just goes on and on. That is the path to the frenzied flame. If you want to meet with the 3 fingers and pursue the chaos ending, that's the route. And I thought I'd show you how to open that up. We get some nice runes along the way, as well as the Erdtree favor talisman, which is one of my favorites. So it's definitely a worthwhile trip, despite being what is absolutely, to me, the worst legacy dungeon in Elden Ring. In a lot of ways, it's more boring to me than the catacombs, and they all look the same. Just horrible visually. But, whatever. It's fine. We're done with it. We got some good... It was worth our while in the end. And, if you want to talk to Hyetta again and do all that, which is a very worthwhile ending if that's the one you choose. All you got to do is start making your way down that seemingly bottomless pit. Okay. Um, but for now, that is it. I can't right now think of anything other than going back to Farum Azula. I do want to try to figure out what I was thinking about the missing runes. There's probably nothing missing. It's just something stuck in my head. But I'll know the answer to that by the time we get back together tomorrow, where we will almost certainly reach the final boss of Farum Azula, um, the final legacy dungeon in this massive game. Okay? Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will check you out next time.